let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
Ricky Gervais doesn't play by Hollywood's rules, and he's not afraid of crushing woke culture. From roasting A-list stars at the Golden Globes to tearing apart woke culture with razor-sharp wit, he's made a career out of speaking uncomfortable truths. Love him or hate him, Ricky's boldness has sparked outrage, applause, and endless debates. But is he exposing hypocrisy or just stirring the pot for laughs? He's one of those rare celebrities who doesn't play by Hollywood's rules. And that's precisely what makes him so captivating. Time and time again, he stood in front of the most powerful stars in the entertainment industry and called them out to their faces. No sugarcoating, no apologies. If you've ever watched one of his infamous Golden Globes monologues, you know what I'm talking about. His sharp wit and fearless attitude have turned him into both a hero and a villain, depending on who you ask. But if there's one thing that's crystal clear, it's this. Ricky Gervais is tired of woke culture, and he's not afraid to say it, loudly, publicly, and with a touch of brutal British sarcasm. The British-American comedian Ricky Gervais has built a reputation for fearlessly roasting Hollywood's obsession with political correctness. He doesn't just poke fun for the sake of laughs. His comedy is a sharp critique of modern culture, exposing what he sees as the ridiculousness behind celebrities, influencers, and entire social movements pushing their agendas. In an era where many comedians tread carefully to avoid controversy, Ricky stands out as someone who couldn't care less about offending people, especially those he considers hypocritical.
A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent.
His biggest gripe seems to be with celebrities who preach about serious social and political issues from the comfort of their lavish mansions, flying in private jets, while urging everyday people to make sacrifices. He's called them out for being disconnected from the struggles of ordinary folks, yet still feeling entitled to lecture the world on how to live. His cutting humor targets this performative activism, where public figures appear more concerned with looking morally righteous than actually contributing to meaningful change.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
One of Ricky's most iconic and unforgettable moments came during the 2020 Golden Globes, where he hosted the star-studded ceremony for the fifth, and according to him, final time. Right from the start, he went after Hollywood's elite with such brutal honesty that even longtime fans were stunned. He opened with searing jokes that labeled them hypocrites and out of touch. With biting sarcasm, he urged the celebrities in the room to skip the self-important political speeches because they know nothing about the real world. His words hit like a punch to the gut, leaving many A-list stars visibly uncomfortable. Some nervously laughed, while others sat frozen, clearly unsure of how to respond. But Ricky didn't care. He doubled down, telling them that if they won an award, they should thank their agent and their God and get off the stage. The boldness was unmatched. Here was a man standing in front of some of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry, calling them out on their self-righteousness and doing it with a smirk.
If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay? So, it's already 3 hours long.
His savage monologue went viral almost instantly, generating millions of views and sparking intense debates online. Was Ricky going too far, or was he simply saying what many people had been thinking for years? The reactions were split. While many praised him for exposing Hollywood's hypocrisy, others accused him of being mean-spirited and insensitive. But that's Ricky Gervais for you. Unapologetic, brutally honest, and completely immune to the outrage that follows him. He's never been one to shy away from controversy, and in that Golden Globes moment, he delivered a scathing reality check to an industry that often seems detached from the everyday struggles of ordinary people. His message was clear: if you're going to preach from a place of privilege, expect to be called out. And if Ricky Gervais is in the room, expect to be roasted mercilessly.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you?
His brutal honesty about Hollywood's performative activism hit a nerve. Celebrities love portraying themselves as champions of justice, but Ricky called out what many people already suspected, that it's all for show. They make grand speeches about saving the world, but fly in private jets and live in sprawling mansions. Ricky simply said what most of us were thinking, and he did it with such biting humor that it was impossible to ignore.
Relax. I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously.
But his critique of woke culture doesn't stop with celebrities. Ricky's also gone after the culture of outrage itself, where people seem to be constantly searching for something to be offended by. According to Ricky, being offended doesn't make you right. It just makes you offended. And that's a lesson the internet could probably use right about now.
The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right?
One of the most controversial moments of Ricky's career came when he joked about Caitlyn Jenner during an awards show. He referred to her past identity as Bruce Jenner, sparking a wave of outrage from the woke community, accusing him of dead naming, the act of referring to a transgender person by their pre-transition name. But Ricky didn't back down. He found the whole idea of erasing someone's past to fit a new narrative absurd. In his typical fashion, he made it clear that Bruce Jenner existed for 58 years, and pretending that history didn't happen didn't make sense to him. His humor might have upset some people, but it also exposed what he saw as the logical inconsistencies of woke ideology. Ricky's sarcasm is his sharpest weapon. He's mastered the art of exposing contradictions through comedy, using humor to highlight how ridiculous some aspects of woke culture have become. He doesn't just poke fun at celebrities. He aims at the entire cultural movement that seems obsessed with rewriting history, silencing dissent, and turning every minor issue into a global crisis.
And freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got to, and I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard,
what's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
So I'm offended. I'm going to die. So what?
In interviews, Ricky has explained why he feels so strongly about this topic. He believes that woke culture has evolved into something dangerous, a system where people weaponize morality to shut down opposing views.
But it really is that case of people come up and they say, oh, I was offended by that joke. And, my first reaction is, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't mean anything. You're telling me how you feel. What I want to say why. And I'll explain to them. I'm willing to explain to them why the joke isn't offensive.
And spark conversations he has. His stand-up specials, including Humanity and Supernature, are packed with biting commentary on woke culture, cancel culture, and the increasingly fragile state of free speech. He's faced intense backlash for some of his jokes, but he's made it clear that criticism won't stop him from speaking his mind. He once said, "Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right." It's a philosophy that guides his comedy and his life. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.